Somewhere within the Achimota forest lies the Accra Zoo. It is easy to imagine queues of animal lovers waiting at the entrance, but the reality is far different. Perhaps the root of its unpopularity begins with the journey to the place. What seems like the middle of nowhere is actually a trip to Accra's only zoo. From the main entrance of the Achimota Forest Reserve, it will take a 4-minute drive or a 20-minute walk on this bumpy road to arrive at your destination. The journey on the road could be worse after a downpour. Those who wish to visit the zoo would also have to disobey this caution to make it to their destination. Through the woods, my crew and I arrive at the zoo. Today, the zoo has 150 animals of 30 species on exhibition. The zoo has not always been at this location. It was moved here in 2006 from the Independence Avenue to make way for the construction of the seat of government, the Jubilee House. Since then, the zoo has been struggling.
People actually didn't know we had animals here. And for the fact that they didn't know, it wasn't for their interest to come around. And we sort of had made them know that animals were moved to Kumasi. And the general public's perception was that we have no zoo in Accra at all. So there was nothing like they knew and didn't want to patronize, but they didn't know. So it is our responsibility as an organization, including you, the media, to let the general public know that we have animals within the zoo in Accra, in Achimota Forest specifically, and we are doing our best to make sure that it meets the standards of the individual Ghanaian and foreigners.
The more we toured the zoo, the more impressed I am with the myriad of animals present. Though the physical structures may not be a sight to behold, same cannot be said for its inhabitants. The entire zoo is under the Wildlife Division of the Forestry Commission. The executive director of the division, Nana Kofi Dunsia, says it will need some help to survive.
In most places, zoo management is becoming expensive, so we tend to work in partnership with people, and then they can adopt species, they can adopt some cages, and that's how zoos are run. So it is not only the Forestry Commission which has not done much, but the whole country. You know, a lot of Ghanaians, I think the ease of participating or adopting animals to take care of them is sometimes which we are not used to that sort of thing, but we are trying to get the public get interested, and then we can have a very good zoo.
The Accra Zoo doubles as an endangered primate breeding center run by the West African Primate Conservation Action. The center is home to the white-napped mangabe and the rollaway monkey. According to the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, the two are part of 25 most endangered primate species in the world. Malik the camel behind me is one of about 150 animals here at Accra's only zoo. Very beautiful and attractive, but in my 40-minute visit here, I have been the only person to see Malik. Soon, it is lunchtime for the animals. Many of the animals here are herbivores and are fed a variety of fruits, vegetables, leaves and grass. This is the aviary. It houses a collection of birds including the endangered African grey parrot. Here, I meet the only other visitor during my tour. Eric Gomez is an English teacher in Accra and is here to plan a trip for his students.
It's good to have a place like this. First of all, the road is a bit scary, and I wish such an interesting place should have a big signboard at the gate, so that anyone even passing by will know that, oh, there's a place here. But that was not the case, and it took our driver some time to locate the place. We had to ask here and there before we got the place. But a very important place like this, a very ideal place for children to visit, for adults to visit and learn about animals, should not be so isolated. Isolated in the case that the publicity, that's the adverts and the notice boards and all that are missing. And even the road is a bit daunting, yeah. If you're not in a 4x4, you may have problem coming down here.
The zoo lacks electricity, a restaurant, good signages, all important features of a modern zoo. Its wooden enclosures are also fast becoming food for termites. In a few years, the Accra Zoo will be part of the Achimota Eco Park. The 360 hectares of forest will house amusement parks, orchards, wildlife safaris, museums, eco-commercial enclaves and eco-lodges. The Forestry Commission believes the zoo would receive a boost in patronage when the project is completed.
It will have been prudent for us to stem up the allocation of resources to these sectors to bring more revenue. And that's why, if you look, tourism sector is being pushed to bring more money to the economy. Because when even tourists visiting the country, the money they pay in other sectors help the country. Hotels, facilities, markets, buying things and others, airfare they are bringing into the country and all those. So it's a sector that if we take good care of it, it could sustain us in our development.
The potential of the Accra Zoo as a major contributor to tourism cannot be overlooked. But till it receives its much-needed facelift, animal lovers will continue to pass by the Achimota forest daily, oblivious of its existence. Reporting for Citi News from the Accra Zoo in the Achimota forest, my name is Ni Ama.